40 days of intense warfare have given way to a fragile two-week ceasefire between the U.S. and Iran. Now, despite the pronouncements of diplomats and leaders, many observers are wondering if there's truly a ceasefire at all. The nerve center of this war has been right here in Florida. U.S. Central Command at MacDill Air Force Base in Tampa directed more than 13,000 strikes, coordinating every branch of the military. At the Pentagon, Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth declared victory and issued this warning.
In less than 40 days, one of our combatant commands, Central Command, CENTCOM, using less than 10% of America's total combat power, dismantled one of the world's largest militaries.
CENTCOM forces destroyed approximately 80% of Iran's air defense systems, striking more than 1,500 air defense targets.
The ceasefire is already being tested by continued attacks throughout the Middle East. Iran's enriched uranium remains unresolved. The Strait of Hormuz is supposed to be open to shipping, but most of the ships are not making the passage out of safety concerns. And General Kane, chairman of the Joint Chiefs, struck a noticeably more cautious tone when he was asked about an end to hostilities. Kane said flatly, quote, "A ceasefire is a pause," end quote. MacDill Air Force Base has, effectively been the nerve center of all of this. What does this mean for our economy, for the Tampa Bay economy, our culture here? I'd like to start with you, Mike.
Well, MacDill has always been a point of pride for our community. It's you got nearly 20,000 military personnel. These are really good, smart people, great jobs. The spending power, the intellectual and cultural improvements that they bring to the community are huge. But in this case, in this war, you have a president who didn't really build support for it. It's really not clear what the plan is. And I think even, we had that Senate district race, the precinct with MacDill in it went Democratic. And this is the same precinct that 2 years ago were solidly behind Trump. The military usually skews Republican. So I think that is even a sign of fatigue, maybe of non-support, even in MacDill for this war.
Tara, what are the constitutional questions about around the War Powers Act, the War Powers Resolution? The president has not declared a formal war. Congress has not. What are the questions that you're looking at?
Right. So we know Article 1 says that Congress can, of course, declare war, but the president is not restricted in short-term operations or an immediate threat. And so, of course, the president's whole point in this is that there was an immediate threat of nuclear proliferation from Iran onto us. But this week alone, the House is calling together another war powers resolution against Iran, and the Senate has signaled that next week they're going to be taken on. But the numbers aren't there to actually be able to limit the president. And so hopefully the court of public opinion will start pressuring the president to really turn away from this war and start dialing it down and not put boots on the ground.
Jackie, so many folks are watching this, following this because of the economic impacts. The Strait of Hormuz may be open, but how are consumers in the state of Florida affected by this situation?
I want us to stop saying the words "seeing higher gas prices." We're past that point. The entire region, and just like most of the United States, is feeling like a widespread and painful ripple effect. Things that we don't even think about, like petroleum is used to make hard and soft plastics, your sandwich bags, your garbage bags, your Tupperware, all of that's costing more. We're paying more. Commuters are paying right now when they fill their tanks $15 to $25 more per tank. We all know that what goes up quickly comes down very slowly. Yesterday at the market close, the price of crude was down about 17%, and I'm driving around Tampa this morning and gas prices are down maybe 4%. Everything that we do, commuting, delivery drivers, the cost of food, energy prices, the airlines are now adding on extra fees for our bags to cover their losses. Yes. And then you had Amazon just announce a vendor fee to cover their losses from fuel.
And in the news lately, we've seen the changes that are going on in the Department of War with Pete Hegseth dismissing top-ranking officials. During this critical time, What are there any legal guardrails that prevent that from happening?
Well, let's just put it out there that the Department of War can only be changed to the Department of War by Congress. So that isn't the official name, despite the rhetoric. But the truth of the matter is that it's very difficult for Congress and the president to get to an agreement right now. We have a very bloated military spending, and this Iranian war is actually making it go up. We have a $39 trillion deficit. Most traditional Republicans want to have a strong military, but not go into this kind of military entanglement without a way out because of the cost and, of course, the consumer costs. But predominantly to the Tampa Bay area with Armageddon, our men and women and their families in service are being put at risk, who we're so very proud of. So this has a far-reaching impact. But I certainly think it's very difficult right now. Unless Congress acts to stop the president, we might see this drag on.